Good morning, everybody, and welcome. This is a special meeting of the Mason County Commission for May 24th of 2024. I'm going to go ahead and just make a quick little statement about what we're here doing today. This commission believes that being represented at the local level is the paramount need in the community. In order to do that, although this may seem a little bit rushed, we definitely are in a situation that is not normal, where there's nobody sitting in those seats. So this commission came together and decided that it was so important that we put it together as fast as we could, and we decided to come on Friday to make sure that you will have your local representation immediately. It is hoped that after we do this meeting, if somebody is selected, which the way we plan to do it is we will open the meeting, we'll take some public comment, we'll interview the applicants, then we will go into an executive session, talk about qualifications, then we'll come back and make appointments for 2 of them. It is hoped that you'll be able to stick around if you are appointed. If you can't stick around and you have to go back home to Matlock, we'll drive out there to get you sworn in. But the hope is that you will be sworn in today. Your community should not be left without representation any longer than today. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Steve, would you do us the honor of leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Sharon Trask.
I'm here.
Excellent. Okay, we have a quorum. Next is an opportunity for you to talk to the commission. We save that though for items that are not on the agenda. So if it's on the agenda, and I'm pretty sure we're all here for that, this is not the time to do it. But if you do have an item you'd like to discuss that is not on the agenda today, this is your opportunity. You'll be given 3 minutes to speak. There's a 15-minute maximum for everybody, so please be brief. We will first call on people in the room, and then we will move to Zoom. With that being said, is there anybody in the room who would like to talk to the commission on any item that is not on the agenda today? Is there anybody in the room who would like to talk about any item not on the agenda today? Hearing none, I'm going to move over to Zoom. Is there anybody in Zoom land that would like to talk to the commission and the community on any item that is not on the agenda today? If so, please raise your hand. Or if you don't know how, unmute yourself now, say your name, and I will call on you. Is there anybody out in Zoom that would like to talk to the commission and the community on any item not on the agenda? Unmute yourself, say your name, and I'll call on you. Hearing none, we're going to go ahead and move forward with interview for applicants for Mason County Fire Protection District 12, Commissioner Position 1 and 3. Now, do we have the list of questions that they were going to do?
It's right there before the next one.
Oh, there he goes. So, when we call you up, we're going to ask that you take a moment and you'll come right up here to the front so that we can look at you. I'm going to remind the community that this is not an opportunity for you to make comments or any snide remarks or anything like that. This is an opportunity for us to get to know the person, and everybody in this room has the right to be treated with respect. And I would appreciate it if you continue to do just like you have. Your community has been incredible in this room, and let's go ahead and continue that with today. So with that being said, there is no right answer, there is no wrong answer. We're going to ask you a set of questions. I will start off with the first one. Commissioner Schutte will take the second, and Commissioner Trask will take the third. And in the end, you'll be given an opportunity to ask questions of us. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and call the first one up. First one is Trina Young. Trina, would you please join us in the front of the podium here? Hi. And again, I want to remind you there is no set answers. We're just trying to get to know who you are. So you can go long or short. Short is always preferred. All right, with that being said, are you a registered voter in Mason County Fire District number 12?
I am.
Morning, Trina. What do you see as the function of a fire district commissioner?
I see the function as being someone who guides the staff and oversees the financial matters, policies, procedures, and also I think it's important for a commissioner to be a liaison between the fire department and the public, and also between the fire department and other agencies and organizations.
Thank you.
Trina, why do you want to sit on the FPD 12 commission?
Well, when I retired after working 34 years in public service, I never dreamed I would be here asking for another job, but I'm here and I want this job. I have become a new member of a new community, and I've always been told community isn't spelled correctly until you add the word unity, and that is really what the recent events have done for Matlock. We have a very united community, and I really want to maintain that and use that to help build a new department.
Thank you.
So what is your experience that qualifies you to sit as a fire district commissioner?
I have several levels of experience. For 34 years, as I mentioned, I worked in public service, part of it as a mapping clerk at Grace Harbor County, and also as a union representative for county and city employees under AFSCME union. And in that experience, I learned a lot about interpersonal relationships that's required to keep people working together, and I think that skill would be a valuable asset to this. I also spent hundreds of hours, I didn't add them up, but probably hundreds, it seemed like that, of hours researching and investigating the malfeasance and crimes that the prior commission was involved in. And during that process, I feel like I really gained a valuable insight into how at least the administrative end of the fire department works. So I feel that that would give me the ability to hit the ground running and jumpstart the changes that we need to make to rebuild this department.
Excellent. So this question's a little bit about your relationship with Fire District 12. So we're just curious if you have volunteered or worked as an employee of Mason County Fire Protection District number 12.
I have not, but I am currently taking the CERT class that is going on for volunteers under the disaster declaration. And I plan to finish that and hopefully be able to respond. I don't know how good I'll be at it, but I'm really willing to learn. And I will say that so far my experience in the classes has taught me a lot about how the volunteers feel about the district, and I think that will be valuable.
When are you available to begin service as a commissioner?
In about 10 minutes.
So Trina, this is your opportunity. I want to point out that even though you volunteered to step up here and do all this stuff, you can back out at any minute up until the time you're sworn in. So with that being said, are there any questions that you have for us that would help you to make that decision on taking on such a heavy task?
I really didn't think about asking you questions because I'm committed to do this, and I don't think anything that you could tell me would sway me otherwise at this point. It's been a very unique experience in civics that I've really enjoyed, and I really look forward to all that I can learn in the future if I'm appointed.
Then we won't pretend to tell you anything we don't actually know. So it's not good. Thank you very much. We appreciate you coming in. And as I said earlier, we'll interview everybody. We'll go into executive session, come back to the public and make a decision.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next up, Stephen Ingram. Would you please come forward? Good morning.
Good morning.
And as I said earlier, there's no set rules on this, short, long, whatever you need
Sure.
to answer the question, and there is no right answer. We're just getting to know you. So with that, we'll go by the same order. I'll go ahead and I'll start. Are you a registered voter in Mason County Fire District number 12?
I am.
Stephen, what do you see as the function of a fire district commissioner?
In my view, like Trina and those of you who have lived through this for the past few years, and having seen the commission at work and other commissions and things like that, I feel similarly in that the commission is responsible for, one, ensuring the district is able to respond and provide the community service that the taxpayers pay for, first and foremost, and do that with accountability, efficiency, and compliance with the variety of regulations to run a special purpose fire district.
All right, well, you kind of answered this one. Why do you want to sit on the commission?
Again, like my fellow community members, my experience in the Navy managing large organizations and small, make no mistake, I don't claim to be a special purpose fire district management expert, but in managing large organizations and seeing the types of difficulties that are faced in rebuilding the fire district, I have direct experience in policy, plans, procedures, implementation, accountability, both fiscal, operationally, and so forth.
It's funny, you seem to be one question ahead of us each time.
I'm sorry.
So what is your experience that qualifies you to sit on the fire commission?
As I mentioned, and I'm sorry if I'm not
Yeah.
answering your questions, feel free to ask them again. Again, in my letter to the board, I stated, hey, I'm living a quiet retired naval officer life in the community of Matlock, in Fire District 12, and feel compelled to, offer the services I have in my experience, again, at, organizational administration and management that I gained, like I said, through a number of years of naval service managing large and small organizations.
And have you ever volunteered or worked as an employee of Mason County Fire Protection District number 12?
No.
Well, when can you start?
Immediately.
All right, as for her, now's your opportunity. Again, you're not held anything, and you can change your mind at any time. Are there any questions that you may have to help you decide and make that final decision if you're selected?
No, I have reviewed the requisites for being in a public position of that nature. I have lived that life as a commissioned officer, under a commission, for a number of years, and have no questions about the duties, responsibilities, or reservations in fulfilling that role.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next up, we have Marjorie at Sarah. Did I say it correct? Close
Yep,
enough?
Marjorie and Sarah, thank you.
Welcome. Again, we'll repeat it again, that no right answer, no wrong answer. Short and sweet, or long and drawn out, it's up to you. At the end, you'll be given an opportunity to ask us questions. So with that being said, same order, are you a registered voter in Mason County Fire Protection District number 12?
Yes, I am.
And what do you see as the function of a fire district commissioner?
The Fire District Commissioner is a liaison between the staff and volunteers and the community. We oversee the fire chief and ensure that they are following policies and procedures. We also are to provide transparency to the public. We are to safeguard the tax dollars, the money that's being spent, and we need to answer to that to the community.
Why do you want to sit on the commission?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Why do you want to sit on the commission?
Oh, well, I have 4 years of board experience at the Merriam Knight School District. I also did 7 years with our church's child care center. And throughout those processes, I was able to implement different programs and write policies, procedures, and give back to the community and help benefit and set a standard to go forward with those programs.
Thank you.
What is your experience, which you just again,
Sorry.
That's all right. No.
Yeah, no.
What is your experience that qualifies you to sit as a fire district commissioner?
Okay, aside from the board experience that I have, in my work environment, I have been responsible as a controller. I oversaw a medium-sized plant and 2 on-sites. I was responsible for all the financial reporting, the budgeting, the forecasting. I was also a member of our company's standardization committee, which we implemented policies and procedures. We also were tasked with aligning the global company procedures and implementing. This was a lot to do with all the acquisitions and mergers and things that happened with the company I worked for. So I have a lot of exposure with finances, transparency, and adhering to all the SOX requirements and regulations of reporting and documentation.
Have you ever volunteered or worked as an employee for Mason County Fire District?
I have not.
Okay.
My husband spent 13 years as a volunteer fireman, so I'm exposed to a lot of what he has gone through, the trainings, the calls. Just like last night, coming out of the bedroom and saying, here's another call. I forgot about how much it's a 24-hour job, and seeing everything that he contributed and all the years of service that he gave.
Great. So if chosen, when can you begin?
Immediately.
Do you have any questions for us?
My question is have you guys felt rewarded by contributing and being on your board? And what different things have you brought to the table or, been proud of that you've done?
I have marks on my back from some of the whips that I've taken.
Okay.
I also
Very
have,
good.
I also have a lot of hugs that I get to keep as a memory for the same acts that I've taken. Sometimes they're the same act.
Yep.
So
Fantastic.
keep that in mind as you go forward. And I think the top thing of all of it has to be the reward I get when I am able to help those that were not able to get help after years and years of trying.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's an incredibly rewarding position to hold in the community, and it's one of those things where there's a tremendous amount of public trust that's instilled in us when we take these positions, and we have to honor that by working hard and being accountable. I used to have hair when I started this, and I don't anymore, but don't worry, you're probably going to be in a much better position there
Yeah.
than I will. So,
Thank you.
but yeah, it's a tremendous job.
Yeah, I wasn't great.
Okay. Thank you guys very much.
And I do chemo. I know. Chemo's a preservative. You just didn't know after 13 years. Okay, well, I thank you very, very, very much. Next up, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was Dr. Ronald Shea. Ronald Shea? Is it doctor? I want to refer to you in the proper. Okay.
It's professor.
Professor, okay.
Just Ron is good.
Okay. Well, Ron, welcome.
Thank you.
Again, as we said before, no set answers, no long or short, it's up to you. And in the end, you'll have an opportunity to ask us some questions.
Okay, full disclosure, however, Mr. Jones is my next door neighbor.
Okay. Do you guys throw things at each other across the road?
We've had multiple discussions about things. Yes.
Okay. So with that again, welcome. Are you a registered voter in Mason County Fire Protection number 12 district?
I am.
And what do you see as the function of a fire district commissioner?
There are multiple functions that I see. I think primarily the number one function is to listen to the community's needs. As a result of listening to the community's needs, to implement effective as opposed to efficient types of things, and to give you a definition of what that is. Being efficient is rearranging the chairs on the deck of the Titanic. Being effective is steering the ship slightly further south. So in order to make sure that the community is served, open eyes need to be focused on what improvements can be made and what scenarios need to be improved upon in order to make those changes.
All right. Why do you want to sit on the commission?
Pardon me?
Why do you want to sit on the commission?
Yeah, I've been grappling with that question ever since I submitted the application. My advanced degree is in organizational leadership. I have a master's degree from Gonzaga University in organizational leadership, and it's a specialized leadership type that is called servant leadership, which means are those that you are leading themselves becoming leaders. In order to do that, you need to be able to recognize people, their emotional states, their needs, and try to put yourself in their shoes. It's not about being in the forefront or the limelight. It's about initiating changes necessary to make them successful, not you.
What is your experience that qualifies you to sit on the Fire District Commission?
My experience is business leadership. I was a manager for the Boeing Corporation. I was my own president of my corporations. I was an interim dean for Centralia College operating in Cedar Creek and Shelton prisons. My qualifications are the ability to organize finances. I had to manage the budget for 5 different instructors, do performance reviews. Specifically to the fire district, I have no experience in the fire district. I don't think it's necessary to be experienced in a specific task. I think sometimes it's more of an attribute to come in with open eyes, unprejudiced views, to be able to look at people for what they are presenting to us at that time, not what they have done in the past. So what helps me in my leadership, and in order to really focus on the fire district itself, is coming in with no expectations. My primary function would be to supply and get as quickly as possible services restored to the community. And I think with the leadership skills that I possess, I would be an attribute to the commission in order to do that. So.
Thank you. Have you ever volunteered or worked as an employee of Fire Protection District number 12?
I have not.
And if you're appointed, if you're chosen, when can you begin?
Today.
And finally, do you have any questions for us that would help you to make up your mind in the final?
The question I have is because I've read the book, I've read the RCWs, and even reading all of them, there's going to be a lot of questions. Are we going to have the support of this organization or other organizations in order to be able to implement and carry out our duties as efficiently as possible? I mean, there's quite a bit of history. We have to have a history lesson to start off with. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the history lesson isn't required. Maybe we need to say the way it was isn't going to be anymore. So my question to you is, what kind of support can Fire District 12, additional support, shall I say, receive from you?
So I'll take the first part. Just so you know, there's not a lot of guarantees in this world, you know that.
Oh, yeah.
When all this was done, there's a lot of people that thought we took over, and we did not. What we try to do is what we're doing right now, be there for you as a backstop, help you to change and pull it together in order to represent fully your community again, yourself. As for the support, it's not just from us, it'd be from everybody in history is what you're gonna have to rely on. Even just a recent history where you had a call, you had a bunch of your own neighbors show up, and sometimes that's what is more important than anything that somebody can bring from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
So I wish I can give you a good answer and say you got it all, whatever I have, but it doesn't work that way. But you can reach out, and we'll do the very best we can to come in behind you and help you. That I can tell you.
I'll just add to that. I think, we recognize that even though we're going to appoint 2 commissioners today, that Fire District 12 is not out of the woods by any means. And so, there's still going to be some hurdles that you have to clear. And so I know that our Department of Emergency Management is, they're not going away. But I'd also just say that you have a good group of fire commissioners throughout the county. They're now they would now be, who we select, that would be your colleagues. And those are people that you can rely on for procedural advice or, A lot of them are long tenured on their commissions, and so they've seen most of everything that you can imagine, up to and including everything that we've now seen with Fire District 12. There's a lot of support that I think you'll get from the fire community in order to get things turned around.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'd echo their remarks. If you watched the other day, this room was full of people that support Fire District 12 and want to see it succeed. So moving forward, you've got lots of resources. I would definitely rely on the other fire commissioners.
Okay.
I'll throw in one more, because I'm sitting here and I'm telling you, we talked about the community. I can't remember a better slate of candidates for anything we've ever done. I'm talking to them, you read through these things, you reach on your neighbors, because they're pretty impressive. Do you have other questions for us?
No, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
you coming in
Thank you for
today.
your time.
Okay, next up, I have Matthew Nixon. Would you please join us at the podium, Matthew? And we'll grill you next.
Good morning.
Good morning. As we've explained, we're going to go ahead and read our questions in order. There is no right answer or wrong answer, short, long, it's up to you. And in the end, you'll be given an opportunity to ask questions to help you make your final decisions. With that being said, I'll start with the first one. Are you a registered voter in Mason County Fire Protection District number 12?
Yes, sir, I am.
Very good, Matt. Thank you. What do you see as the function of a fire district commissioner?
I see it as the oversight board for the fire district, responsible for, it's a team that works together, that works with the community, works with the folks on the fire, the volunteers, oversees the budget, insurance, that there's accountability to the public, and provides a highest level of transparency for the activities of the fire district.
Great. And why do you want to sit on the commission?
As Ron said, I thought about that since I put the application in. However, it was pretty clear. I've been I've been a 20-year resident of that particular district and 30 years in the Shelton area. I have a real fondness for the people in the community, and as you alluded to, the quality of the folks, the neighbors I have is incredible. I have a lifelong dedication to public service in the sense that my mom was an example of a volunteer teacher, and probably the highest thing you can do is volunteer to help the public, your neighbors especially. So that's a big part of it. I think I've got the skills. I certainly have the time now of being newly retired, and I would like that opportunity.
Thank you.
So what are your experiences that qualify you to sit as a fire district commissioner?
I worked for the Department of Fish and Wildlife for almost 22 years. I retired 10 years ago as the sergeant for Fish and Wildlife Police in the county. I had Mason County, South Mason County and Grays Harbor when I finally retired. After that, I went to Green Diamond. I worked for 10 years at Green Diamond. I was in charge of security, some other opportunities there, but supervised the fire chief, received fireland training, was responsible for fire response, and I've worked closely with the district, with other districts and DNR on wildland fire suppression. I have leadership experience in the union. I was the union president for the Sergeants Association in Fish and Wildlife. That's probably most of it.
Have you ever volunteered or worked as an employee of
No,
Fire
sir, I
District
have
12?
not.
And if selected, when can you begin?
I'm immediately available.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
We're at the end of that. Do you have any final questions for us that would help you to make up your mind?
I would just like to thank you for the opportunity to apply, and I'm humbled. So
Thank you for
have a great day. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, next up, I have David Purcell. Hi, David.
Howdy.
As we explained before, no set answers. Long, short, it's up to you. We're going to go through the list, and you'll be given an opportunity at the end to ask questions of us. Again, are you a registered voter in Mason County Fire District number 12?
Have been for 30 years plus.
And what do you see as the function of a fire district commissioner?
Fire District Commissioner oversees the chief and the secretary and watches out for the wise use of the taxpayer dollars.
All right, why do you want to sit on the commission?
Well, I've been asked if I was running for quite some time. I've been fully immersed in this process of recalling the past commissioners. And I said over and over again, I was not interested. I didn't do all the stuff in the organizing of the recall and exposing everything that's been exposed in the last 3 years to get a title, to get a job. A thank you is enough. But when the most qualified person for this board had to agree to step down, I decided to raise my hand and step up because as I've been going through this process, I've worked real closely with Mike through the whole thing, and I understand the peril that the district is in. Even though you commissioners negotiated a mulligan with the insurance company, we got a long ways to go. We're still right on the edge, and I understand the multiple organizations that are coming at us. Hopefully they're all going to work with us and give us a mulligan. And we need somebody that understands all that and is familiar with everything that's coming at the district in order to hit the ground running and go with it immediately. We don't have time for getting up to speed on what has been done and what needs to get done.
What is your experience that qualifies you to sit as a fire district commissioner?
Well, I've been self-employed for 30 years, and after 30 years of that, of self-employment, you have to be able to multitask. In the past 3 years, since Amanda was screaming in the wilderness that this is not right, I've been multitasking all day long at work, every day, to and from work. I'm on the phone constantly, reaching out to almost every single one of these folks in the room right here, organizing the fundraising, and I just think it's just necessary for what's got to get done is move forward and rock and roll. There's no time for sitting around.
Excellent. Have you ever volunteered or worked as an employee of Fire District 12?
I have not, except that I cleared the land next to the station 12-1, which was where our building was going to be that we never got because of the past administration. And so I did about a $12,000 donation to the department at the time. And that's all that I've done with the department so far.
Okay, thank you.
So if chosen, when can you begin?
I already have.
Do you have any final questions for us that would help you to make any decisions?
No, I just hope that we all can work together and do what's best for the district. I always will.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
All right, next up, I have Kenneth Smith. Welcome, Kenneth. So again, we're going to ask you the same set of questions. No right answer, no wrong answer, and you'll get an opportunity to ask the question at the end. With that being said, are you a registered voter in Mason County Fire Protection Number 12 District?
Yes.
And what do you see as the function of a Fire District Commissioner?
Oversee the chief and the crew, oversee the financial of the district, enforce policies, and be a liaison between the fire department, the district, and the public.
Great. So why do you want to sit on the commission?
I'd like to get it back the way it used to be. Where, you know, you call, people show up like they're doing now. In the past, you call, you're lucky if 1 or 2 people show up. So try to get the fire department back to the way it was.
And what is your experience that qualifies you to sit as a fire district commissioner?
I've been in the fire service since 1986, off and on, up until 2018. I helped start and manage a transportation company, establish policies and procedures, oversee the employees, payroll. And I was assistant chief of emergency for a private fire rescue company. Then did the hiring, enforced policies, oversaw all the employees.
Okay. And have you ever volunteered or worked for Fire District 12?
I volunteered from 2011 to 2018.
And if chosen, when can you begin?
Today.
And do you have any final questions for us that would help you to make a decision in the end?
No, I don't.
Thank you very much. So with that, I appreciate everybody coming in. I do want to clarify something just for safety's sake for your community. I don't know that this commission has negotiated a mulligan with the insurance. It's never a deal until the money changes hands. When they sign and they say you have it, then you have it. Up until then, all you have is people talking, trying to make things happen. So I just wanted to make that very, very clear. Also, I want you to think about whether you want to do this, understanding another question that was asked about what support you'll have. And, you know, I've talked on a lot of boards. I've come in and with water boards and other HOAs, and I have something that I always try to let them know. And that's if your last group was run out on a rail, there's a good chance that you may be run out of rail too. That's how it works. Just remember that it also depends on how you guys handle it originally. It's the fight that turns into the real danger. Just like in your home. When you start arguing, you may have argued for a moment. 2 hours later, you're not arguing about what you were, but boy, it's a lot worse than it ever dreamed of before you let the argument take on. So keep that in mind as we're gone doing deliberations in the back, and not deliberations, we're actually going to be talking about your qualifications in life. So keep that in mind, because I want to remind you again, you're not obligated until you're obligated. If you sit in front of us, you take the oath, you're obligated, and you're expected to stand up and be held accountable at that point. So with that, we're going to go ahead and we're going to move into an executive session under RCW 42.30.1101H. Evaluation qualifications of candidates for appointment to elective office. With that, after we're done, we'll come back and we'll be making motions for appointments. We don't have a set time in order to do it. So right now, how long would the commission like to take before coming back? Because what would happen if it takes longer? Then I would come back into the room and announce how much longer it would take. So we won't do anything without the full public.
I'd ask that we maybe start with 10 minutes.
Okay, so we are going to go ahead and adjourn till 9:50 at this point. And at 9:50, we'll come back, and if that changes, we'll let you know. Thank you again, everybody. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and call this meeting back to order. For a clarification, we went ahead and we left and talked about different qualifications and stuff of the different people. I got to tell you that I said it a little earlier, but I wasn't kidding. The qualifications and the commitment to your community was so evident. I was extremely impressed. We do a lot of interviews with people that serve on different boards, and we would wish that we...
Oh, oops.
So I got to say all that again?
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to call the meeting back to order. We left to go ahead and have an executive session to talk about the qualifications of the individuals that we just interviewed. I was pointing out that they are also very highly qualified, not just in knowledge, but for their love for the community and the fact that they've been involved with these issues and really want to make a difference. We interview a lot of people for a lot of different committees, and we never see a pool like this that is that qualified to where there's so many of them that could just step in. Matter of fact, I'll even say from my own personal belief, I don't think there was one that interviewed that couldn't step in. So that's quite a pleasure to have on our side when we're dealing with these things. With that, we will go ahead and we're going to open it up for some conversations and then maybe a motion from one of the commissioners. And at which point there'll be an action taken, and we ask that you stay around so we can go ahead and get you sworn in. But again, also remember, if you were not selected, that doesn't mean anything except for they had to pick the ones they think that will fit a whole new horizon on what needs to be done, and there's nothing personal involved here. So please keep that in mind. With that, Commissioners, would you like to say what you thought about your?
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chair. Just I'll echo what Commissioner Netherland said. I think appreciate everybody stepping forward. This has obviously been a very difficult and trying several years for Fire Protection District number 12, and so that we have 7 candidates in front of us who are who don't just meet the minimum qualifications, but have an abundance of skills and qualities that I think lend themselves well to being in these types of positions. And knowing that you're coming into a situation that is, to be generous, a fixer-upper. There's going to be some work ahead of you, for sure, and so we don't take this decision lightly. There are only 2 seats that we're appointing for today, and so who we appoint today are obviously going to have to go through their own appointment process to fill out the rest of that board. And so there are 5 names that are in front of us that aren't going to get selected, but that I hope continue to remain engaged in this process and look for opportunities to serve and support their community, and in particular the fire district. So do you want to make any comments before I make a motion? Or do you want to?
No, well, it definitely was not an easy choice because there's a lot of passion, a lot of commitment. Matlock is lucky, or Fire District 12 is lucky to have so many people that care about the community.
I'm going to ask a question of them first. You had an opportunity to think while we were gone. And before a motion is made, I want to ask you a simple question. Are any of the people that applied and that were interviewed, are any of you interested in not pursuing this after the interview? Is there anybody who would not take on this commitment if you were offered it right now? Did you change your mind? I see none. So with that, I want to let you know that we very much care about representation. You have a representative that represents the whole county, but they represent your community. So we're going to go ahead and let your commissioner have the first say on how a motion would come about and who would be selected.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With that, I move appointment to Fire Protection District number 12 Commissioner positions 1 and 3. I move appointment of Trina Young and David Purcell.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second for the appointment. Which one's which? Which one would be Trina, please? Which?
1.
For seat 1?
And then.
And seat
David
3 for.
3.
So an appointment of for seat 1 of Trina Young and for seat 3 of David Purcell. Is there any further comment? She's thinking.
Giddy up.
Okay, with no further comment, we'll go ahead and take the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The motion carries. So congratulations to the 2 of you. Now, I remember when I first got elected, a friend of mine, when we were talking about whether to get elected, he said something to me. He says, "I'm not going to wish you luck. I'm going to wish you that you get what you deserve." So keep that in mind. here, we're gonna go ahead and we are going to adjourn the meeting. We're gonna allow for more comment from them if they'd like, but we're gonna end up adjourning the meeting. Afterwards, we're gonna stand right here. We're gonna swear you in. If you don't mind, we'll swear you in immediately. I would like those that were selected to meet with Mark afterwards. The reason why is he's gonna tell you a few things that you're gonna need to keep in mind. And your commission is still available to you anytime for questions or anything. Please don't make any mistakes because they are watching you. You're not paranoid, they really are out to get you. Keep that in mind, okay? So with that, meet with Mark after we're done with this and keep in touch with him as we'll try to keep everybody out of trouble with that. All right, any further comment, Commissioner? Any further comment?
No.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. Chair, I move we adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn. Hearing no objection, we are adjourned.
Do you want me to take a picture from
I want to thank all you, everybody for putting on this. Congratulations. And I hope to see all of you again.
Do you need that?
You're right.
No, I was gonna ask you.
That's how you should handle it.
Yeah,
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding, they were highly qualified. So, Commissioners, when I'm doing this oath, I'd like for all three of us to stand together with them in front of us. Are you okay with that? Okay. Let me get the oath.
Now I'm even
Come in so fast, less than
more of a target.
Did you see that they changed it to July?
Getting access to. Correct.
Me, I think it is. I'm gonna give I can break it down here and have a flag.
The challenge is that there's been a lot of talk about solutions and never any action. So,
Absolutely.
you can't sit there and wait.
Kevin, could you bring the flag over?
Looking for this problem. Nobody came to us with this problem.
Oh, absolutely, they came to us. Thank you.
Oh, Mankey, okay, well, the Navy didn't come to us with this problem.
No, we were wanting to do Mankey, oh, careful. And we identified the fact that there were some individuals that were on the right of way, so we didn't want to just do Mankey and not do the right of way, because they might just move around a little bit, so we reached out to the Navy to get them.
Still, they're coming right back to town.
Mackenzie.
That's the problem.
Yeah, and filling them out
Oh,
real quick.
don't disagree.
So we just put,
And I've been talking about, let's do it. I don't care what.
David?
Topic line.
Yeah.
right here, so it'd be of Elmer Washington.
Property up there, spread them out, have the tents they want.
Well, some
You
of
need
them are in
security, we
Elmer.
just can't turn them loose. You just can't have them. Somebody's gotta be up there.
Check out the,
Next in July.
July.
I would say.
Yeah, we went up there.
Yeah,
We were up there in July.
Okay.
Yes,
The
no, no, I
office of
figured
fire
it out.
I think there's gonna be more than.
Yeah, Fire District 12 under
There's 26 camps.
With the notifications that are happening, I think they'll have.
Yeah, well, we do have some new people in town, and they have some FTD people that are coming in from the track.
Oh, yeah. So I was looking at the city of Olympia recommendation, and there's they have a pallet shelter kind of area there that looks like it's. And there's very low barrier to entry.
The one in Longview is great as well. It was $1.2 million.
Yeah, I would say Fire District.
I can see it all fine fire too, but the operation was $1.4 million a year. Salvation Army's running it. Now granted, could we find somebody a little cheaper? Hopefully, but we have a lot of agencies here in town that don't want more security.
Okay.
They don't feel, we had a chance at a bell shelter, and one of our agencies didn't apply for the grant, on their own. Decided after a big meeting with everybody that they weren't gonna do it, and that was the problem. So I suggested we go out, RFI, early on, and now it's finally looking like it's coming to fruition, but we go out and find somebody to do it, and the agency comes in and they go, well, if that happens, we could get booted out of town, we could lose our funding.
But I think it's important that.
Apply for the grant.
Yeah, I agree.
He's gonna tell us how to.
Are you, which way are you pointing?
He's looking at that right now, he'll tell us.
Hope that wasn't all on camera. Huh?
Oh, yeah, we're still being recorded.
We're gonna do it one at a time. I myself,
Oh,
I
I mean,
know the other
Dave,
person
I
considered
guess
it
I
an
was
honor to be
thinking.
sworn in. So if you don't mind, I'll do one at a time. Unless you guys don't care at all, then I'll do you both and we'll get you out of here.
Doesn't matter to me. I'm up for either way. And I want to thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to help turn it around.
I have no idea you won't let them down. I believe it.
Oh.
I'm serious, guys. I cannot believe the quality of the candidates.
There's a lot.
Don't watch some of our other interviews. You will literally go, oh,
I think it's a great idea.
Hello?
It's nice that we've got new resources.
Hey, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
We wouldn't be here without you.
There you
No,
go.
that's an absolute fact. You can say it twice.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a picture from mom?
to be over here on camera.
Oh, yeah, I didn't hear about that. I know that.
Actually, I'll just.
Nope, just stay away. I've been on it enough.
Do something else with it, so, okay, I'll stay around.
the award. Nice job up there, by the way. Oh, thank you. You did really well.
Hey.
So how do you want us to name? Three commissioners standing where, facing what direction?
You're gonna stand there,
You're in control. You get to choose.
you can choose for what.
He has the power.
Yeah, he has the power.
Do you wanna put the three of you here?
Mm-hmm. And right there, okay, that's what we'll do.
Oh, yeah. I have share space.
Sure.
I have something I just want to know.
Tim's here?
It's definitely something you said.
Oh, no.
Good idea.
All right.
I'm not in your camera view if I sit in one. Great,
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and start with Trina first. Would you please stand right here? Is she in your camera? Right in front. I think is what you said, right? Because she's got
Or do you want
cameras
to
here
take
and
this
here.
one?
Okay. You got it? All right, so before we begin, as you know, you were selected to be appointed. Are you willing to serve?
I am.
Then please raise your right hand. I, Trina Young,
I, Trina Young,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I am a citizen of the United States
that I am a citizen of the United States
and state of Washington,
and state of Washington,
that I am legally qualified
that I am legally qualified
to assume the office of Fire Protection District Number 12,
to assume the office of Fire Protection District Number 12,
Fire Commissioner, position number 1,
Fire Commissioner, position number 1,
and that I will support the Constitution
and that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the state of Washington,
and the state of Washington,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties of this office
discharge the duties of this office
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability. Thank you
Congratulations.
very much.
If you don't mind, if you would join him over here and do your signature, please. David Purcell, would you come and join us, please? Right up here in front so you can get your picture. Again, before I do this, you've been asked to be appointed by this commission. Are you willing to serve?
Yes.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, David Purcell,
I, David Purcell,
do solemnly swear and affirm
do solemnly swear and affirm
that I am a citizen of the United States
that I am a citizen of the United States
and the state of Washington,
and the state of Washington,
that I am legally qualified
that I am legally qualified
to assume the office of
to assume the office of
Fire Protection District Number 12,
Fire Protection District Number 12,
Fire Commissioner, position number 3,
Fire Commission Position Number 3,
and that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and the state of Washington,
and the state of Washington,
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
and impartially
and impartially
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of this office
of this office
to the best of my
to
ability.
the best of my abilities.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Silas. So now that you guys are appointed to your new positions, I can't talk to you both at the same time, so I will, because you guys are now commissioners.
Yep. No, you're okay.
I'll just have to meet with you one at a time afterwards, so.
Okay.
So you need to signature here, print name there, please. Welcome to being in public office.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of rules.
Thank you, everybody, for coming and doing this and for standing tall. I'll tell you,
Thank you.
you got a great community.
Do that one first.
Now, make sure you get your commissioner's numbers, because you can call and ask for advice for any of this stuff. We'll show up and help you with whatever you need. We're not leaving you, that's for darn sure, okay?
We're gonna need it.
Well, no, you got it, it's, you know, so please get ourselves before you leave, and we're there for you.
Signature.
I'm going back to work. Congratulations. Love you. Good job, Trina. Good work. Oh, I told Kristen the other day, I go, I can't even remember how it started.
Sure.
Because remember you used to go to the meeting and then, like, say how bad.
Now you have to stand up when they say are there any elected officials in the room.
Mhm.
Stand up.
Yeah.
Nick can remind me.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I will.
Get your cattle brought out.
You can't have the hat though.
No.
Make a little more air in the room.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Mackenzie, I believe we need to file these with the auditor's office, but if we must get copies for them, provide them with some copies. That'd be great.
Commissioner?
This is the.
I think it's all three of us.
All three of these have to sign.
All right, commissioners, bring your pen.
I've
Yeah.
done that very quickly.
Back before.
First lesson, yeah.
See, we had that back in. Smiling way, boys.
I say that all the time. So I'm a white boy.
I love that. Love hearing that. That's
Like I
awesome.
said, I hope to see everybody at the fundraisers that are coming.
Love it.
Well, I'll expect to see the county commissioners there.
As you should.
I love that show.
And the sheriff, I said,
Yep, definitely the sheriff.
right?
Congratulations,
The
Commissioner.
auditor.
Yes.
I'm gonna sign it on something that has a little cushion on it.
Somebody already got mine.
Pens are never safe around here, thanks.
Still yours, pen like this. We're good.
You gotta watch it.
I was just asking.
Block your shot. Somehow. It feels like it's hard to get that finger on the back.
No, hard on.
Definitely. Definitely.
Do you want to do that?
Well, let's see when it is.
You got my number.
Yes, I'll let you know.
Shut out for the commissioner will come.
Dave, do you have an email address?
Oh, yeah.
Just thinking about.
Any emails?
You need to sign half of your.
I think Fire District 12 has an email system, so maybe somebody, if you have somebody in IT over there that can help you get it set up.
I'm working on it. Most of the stuff I do, they require that kind of stuff. You have to run through Mike.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm at his house.
You have to, if you do, I don't know, especially at least 24 hours.
He's got the key. So he's got the key to his house.
All that's an open position shooting. Every time you do a special.
We'll get Mackenzie.
Once I take you must get the
Well, you got time to walk the tracks today, about half
Have
an
you
hour.
ever tried my job?
Yacht club. Come on, just going up.
Oh, that's right, 11.
So I'm going up. And so is the new council member, she's going up too, so.